All right, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Howard County Delegation Meeting on March 27th, 2026. We have one bill to take up, what was formerly Howard County 1326, now Senate Bill 1003, dealing with the sheriff and the state's attorney's salaries. So let's see, we have Senator Lamb with us. Senator Lamb, do you want to walk us through the bill, or shall I ask Dara to do that?
It's me from Clarence's office. I'm happy to, but I'm also happy to defer to Dara, whatever the
Okay,
delegation would like.
okay, great. Yes, Dara, do you want to walk us through the bill as amended?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. So what the bill does is it alters the annual salaries of both the Sheriff of Howard County and the State's Attorney for Howard County. First of all, the Sheriff of Howard County, it sets the annual salary at $220,601 for calendar year 2027. Would you like me to go through the specific numbers? I feel like that could get quite
No,
read quite quickly. So in the interest of brevity, it sets the annual salary in the following calendar years, 2027, 2028, 2029, and then an amount in calendar year 2030 and each subsequent calendar year. The same structure is done for the state's attorney for Howard County salary. This is a departure from the current systems for each. Currently, the state's attorney for Howard County's salary is tied to the salary of a judge of the District Court of Maryland, and the sheriff of Howard County's salary under existing law is equal to the salary of a major on step 6 of the Howard County Police Management Schedule for the first year of the sheriff's term.
okay, thank you. Delegate Teresa, I see your hand up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Two quick questions. One, you said it was a House bill and now it's a Senate bill. We just aren't moving on the House bill, we're moving on the Senate. Is that what you mean? Or
This particular bill was introduced by the Howard County Senators. It was always a Senate bill.
okay, I misheard then.
It's delegation. Excuse me. Its delegation number is House 1326.
Okay. And then the other question is, does that mean we're not tying it to anybody else's salary? I thought it was tied to like the the state's attorney was tied to the judges' salaries.
If that's in current law, that is the setup under the bill that would not be the case. It would just be the amount stated in the bill.
Okay.
But then, Dara, it also increases annually by a percentage, right? So we don't have to come back and do this. Am I correct about that? Shall increase annually by a percentage equal to the percentage increase for that year of the annual salary of a judge of the district court. So it is tied to the percentage increase.
I am not seeing that in my printout of the bill.
Oh, are we not working off the same?
Senator Lamb's office has their hand up if you want Scott
Okay,
to
Senator
clarify.
Lamb's office? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna make the same point that you made, that there's in the final reprint, I can forward it to Dara as well, that on an ongoing basis, the would still be tied back to the increases of the judges.
So, was there an amendment made or?
Yeah, let me forward you
Yes.
the
Okay, well, I apologize. I
Oh, you're good.
for that.
I'll forward to Dara right now.
Okay, great.
But
And in
yeah,
the
sorry, go
meantime,
ahead.
I can call on Delegate Hill. Raise her hand up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I don't know if Dara, and if not Dara, if Scott can explain again for each of these jobs, what are they tied to now? What would they be tied to going forward? What automatic increases are there now? What automatic increases would there be going forward? And how does that compare to folks in similar positions in the other 23 jurisdictions in the county? That's what I'd like to know. And I'd also like to know when the last time was that we did an increase. I think we did a sheriff increase in the last 5 years. We changed the structure, did an increase then. So if you're able to give us that information, would be helpful. Thank you.
Happy to run through that really quickly if that's helpful. So right now the sheriff is tied to a major in the Howard County Police's pay scale. We will be shifting that to be tied to the Howard County Police Chief. So they'll be getting paid a similar salary as the Howard County Police Chief. With one slight caveat that the sheriff's salary can't increase within a term. So if Howard County increases the sheriff's salary halfway through the 4-year term, the sheriff doesn't catch up until after the next election for constitutional
And
reasons.
that's both now and then. So that
Correct.
provision would stay the same.
Correct. So the main operative thing is we're tying it to the chief versus a major. For the state's attorney, as Dara noted, currently they just get the same salary as a district court judge.
District judge, not a circuit judge.
Correct, as a district court judge, correct. What in the conversations with the county, it was pointed out that that's kind of a little bit lower compared to some of our bigger counties in the state. So what we did was try to kind of rebase it by giving, specific enumerated raises over the next 4 years, to get it up to about 240,000, which is in the ballpark of some of our bigger counties. But to avoid having to come back and re-enumerating every 4 years, we've said that they will still get increases that are the same as the percentage increase of the district court judge. So when the General Assembly raises the district court judge salary by 3% or whatever 4 years from now, the state's attorney will get that same percentage increase.
So we're rebasing them
We're
to be
rebasing.
higher than a district court judge
Right.
based on what? So is that the same? Is that a district court judge or the chief judge of the district courts? Who determines that? And how did we decide what the proper base was? How is that being set and compared to who?
Yeah, good question. So the judges' salaries are kind of set similarly to the salaries of delegates and senators. There's a commission, the Judicial Compensation Commission, that meets every 4 years to decide on what is the fair salary of all the judges. And then they introduce a resolution which the General Assembly can either change up, or they can only change it down, actually. They can't change it up. And then once that resolution passes, that kind of sets the baseline salary for judges going forward. And so that is kind of how that would work.
I'm sorry, Scott, before you go further, is that the same commission that does district court judges and circuit court
sorry.
judges?
Yeah, the commission sets all the judges' salaries from district court up to the Supreme Court, all of them in one foul swoop. So if you look at the resolution that was introduced, this year, it'll say district court judges will go up to this, circuit court judges will go up to
Okay.
that, and enumerates them all the way down.
And the determination had been that the state's attorney is equivalent to a district court. Their salary should be tied to the district court, but we could have said we're going to tie it to the circuit court. We could have.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you could tie it to, any judge or anything you would like. But the main goal was just try to kind of rebase them. And then we kind of just picked the percentage in the future just so we don't have to do this every 4 years. But, in fairness, we kind of just picked one of the judges to use as future percentages.
Okay. Then my final one, the justification for rebasing.
The justification for rebasing is that the Howard County state's attorney is getting paid less than Baltimore City, Baltimore City, Montgomery County, and Baltimore County. Mako has a chart of all of them I can share if that's helpful. But
So while you're looking that up, you said based on size, are they paid similar to crime rates, the counties with similar crime? counties of size is not the same as crime rates or cases, right?
That's a fair point. We didn't do like a cross tab to look at what each county's crime rate was related to their state's attorneys. I don't know if Brian, feel
Okay.
free if Brian has other
Thank
thoughts
you.
on like why we pick these
Thank you,
numbers.
Madam Chair.
And it was also workload, that, Rich Gibson felt that he was being paid significantly less, and doing more work. And that was part of that
But I
as
think it was
well.
compared to other, again, I'm not clear what it was compared. I remember the conversation and but I don't remember for the record what we're talking about here. Workload as compared to jurisdictions by size, jurisdictions by by population, jurisdictions by number of criminal and other cases, or as compared to what judges do. I don't know what we're comparing it to. Do you remember?
We
Madam Chair?
mostly,
Yeah.
at least internally to our office, mostly just looked at like size based on the population of the county. We didn't like go to a level of like figuring out the crime rate. We just looked at the population of the county and kind of used that as a proxy, in all honesty.
Thanks.
Delegate Gazoni has had her hand up. I'm sorry, Delegate Hall, I did not mean to cut you
Yeah.
off.
No, my hand went down. I was just
Okay. So you got your question answered?
essentially, yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Further questions, discussion on the bill?
I think they do a great job, but I would like to have that information. I just like to know for public accountability what we're comparing it to in terms of, you said workload. To me, that translates to some number of cases that are being taken to court, or some number of cases that are being, even if they're not go to court, they're adjudicated in some way. And I just like to know, I'm not sure that comparing it to the size of the county is the right metric. That's all.
As I recall, Rich Gibson was comparing his salary to other people in Howard County. So, we can certainly get that information, and I agree that would be a good thing to have. Delegate Tarasa.
Madam Chair, I would say I'm very comfortable with the bill as it is. I think it's pretty late in the session for us to put this off any further, and I'm afraid the impact of that would be to really kill the bill. And I would like to see us move it forward today, personally. I mean, I do appreciate the information that you guys are talking about. I feel like I saw some of that. I can't say I remember the exact crime rates, but I'm comfortable with it. And my conversation, I did have a conversation with Rich, and I know at least some of it was a discussion of compared to other counties. But I personally think we should move this forward today.
Delegate Gazoni, thank you, Delegate Tarasa. Delegate Gazoni.
Thanks. I agree about moving it forward. I was hoping that maybe Mr. Schefter could just chime in a little bit, because I do remember speaking with Rich Gibson, and some of his discussion was comparative to other positions in the county and his workload in comparison to those other positions in the county.
I do.
I'm happy to speak if there's I'm sorry, what is the specific question?
Are there other salaries in the county, in Howard County, which are higher than the state's attorneys, but really don't have anything like the workload?
I want to say that in particular, Rich Gibson mentioned, I think, the county solicitor, as
Yes,
as I'm racking back into my brain.
yes, good for
The
you.
original bill refers to the solicitor's salary, and that was the baseline that for the comparable.
Great, thank you.
And does this?
And does this make it comparable, or what does it do relative to, Scott, what does it do relative to the solicitor's salary? Because there was a great discrepancy there, as explained. I agree.
These numbers came from Brian, those 4 years, so I assume those are in some way.
Brian, how do these, if this bill goes through as it is, how will that? How-
They should be comparable to the solicitor at the salary points that were
And how is the
provided.
solicitor's salary determined?
That
What's it tied
is
to?
that is set by the salary, the pay grade and scale of the Howard County General.
So the county
scale.
sets that.
The county sets that. That is negotiated by the county with the individual serving in that role,
Okay.
and then it would increase over time based on the pay scale that's adopted by the county.
Okay, so my question, Madam Chair, then is, and Scott, maybe it's for you. If the goal is to make this equitable, which I think is the right goal, and we're looking at the solicitor, should we be tying it to the solicitor's goal instead of these state things? In other words, aren't we going to be back here in a few years because the county decides that the solicitor should be making a lot more? And again, our state's attorney is going to be making not so much. Oh, wait a minute, I got a call. Sorry, let me get off.
Okay. I would also argue that part of this calculation is the ability to attract top talent. Particularly for the state's attorney position, because they can go make a lot of money somewhere else. So we need Delegate Hill back here for a minute. Because we are quickly running out of time.
Madam Chair, do we need the majority of the delegation, or we need the majority of?
We
Those-
need a quorum,
We
but
would need a majority of the delegation to get past the bill through.
We do. We don't need a majority of the.
It's a
We don't
majority
need
of
a
the
quorum and
delegation.
the majority of people present.
It's the majority of the delegation, not a majority of the quorum present.
but we have that number of people.
Yes.
Delegate Hill.
Sorry,
Sorry, that's okay.
I'm sorry. I was
We
on,
just
actually,
have
I
enough
was on the
time.
phone with a judge.
Oh my God. Well, there
A
you
different
go.
bill. And so when a judge calls, I gotta
Yes,
click out.
right.
I'm sorry. Are
Delegate
we
Wu?
voting?
We are going to be in just a second, I hope.
Okay.
Delegate Wu.
Yeah, I want to make a quick comment. I think I talked to our sheriff and other people. I feel this is talk about the workload, everything there. I definitely feel I support this. Just want to say that.
Thank you. Thank you. Do I hear a motion on the amendments?
So moved.
I don't
Thank
think we
you. For a
need,
second.
I think
I'm
we need to
sorry.
approve the
We don't-
bill as
we don't
amended
need
to
to
the
do the
Senate.
amendment.
We can
we
vote
just
the
need the
bill as
bill.
amended, right? Okay, my fault. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do I
Move the
hear a
bill as
motion?
amended.
Thank you. Do we hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye, or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Is anybody opposed? Seeing none, the bill passes. Thank you all so much. Perfect timing. There's the bell.
See you
So
on the floor.
we are adjourned. I will see you